Good evening and welcome to ICSD Education. This is Govinda Kormukar. I am an educator and trainer of English and psychology and also fluent English, communication and soft skill development and also interview etiquette. Today I am going to talk about personality development. This is the third video, part 3, personality development. So I am going to talk about personality Freudian stages. In this video, you will get a lot of information about Freudian stages. Human personality development is a continuous process. It starts since the child is in fetal stage. After birth, the child develops and learns, and his process continues throughout his life. Therefore, personality development can be seen through different stages of age of an individual. At each stage, a person develops different aspects of personality. These stages have been described differently by different personality theories. These descriptions may be classified into number 1, Freudian stages, and number 2, neo-Freudian stages, Erikson's psychological stages. So now I am going to talk about Freudian stages. Okay, let's start. Although the stage of personality development may be found in the writings of ancient Greek, it is Freud who first formulated a meaningful stage of theory of personality. Meaningful stage theory of personality. According to Freud, personality develops as a result of interaction of 4 main sources of taste. 4 main sources of trace. These are psychological process, these are physical growth process, frustration, conflicts and threats. Once again, so these 4 sources are, there are main sources of traces. These are physical growth process, frustration, conflicts and threats. These sources affect differently at each stage of the life of a person, and these stages can be classified into 5 categories: oral stage, anal stage, phallic stage, latency stage and genital stage. So these are the 5 types of stages, 5 categories. Freud believes that these stages are the main driving forces of personality development. Let us use how it happens. Number 1, oral stage. Oral stage covers the period from birth to 18 months of age. Oral stage covers the period from birth to 18 months age. This period may be divided into 2 stages: oral sucking and oral biting. Oral sucking period is from birth to 8 months, and in which a child satisfied his sexual instinct by sucking from mouth, lips and tongue. The child in this condition is totally in its effect and driven by pleasure principle, and also driven by pleasure principles. If it is not breastfed properly, he satisfies himself by sucking his thumb or finger After around 8 months, the mother starts weaning. However, if the weaning is abruptly stopped, it creates disturbances in personality development. Oral biting starts at the age of 8 months and lasts up to 18 months. This stage consists of the earlier characteristics and other specialties of personality also develop. The child enjoys in biting, sucking and feels pleasure in this stage. Ego starts separating from id. The child repents. The child resents if he is denied breastfeeding, which again creates problem of personality development. Okay, then number 2, anal stage. This stage is from 18 months to 3 years. The child satisfied his sexual instinct by releasing urine and feces. He expresses his anger by urinating and defecating at wrong places. Ego is developed at this stage, and the child understands that he is from a particular sex. At the later period of this stage, he understands the social value of toilet control. However, if poorer attention is not paid to the child, he experiences stresses which affect his personality. Number 3, phallic stage. This stage, number 3 stage, third stage is phallic stage. This stage extends from 3 to 7 years. This is at this stage the child learns to discriminate. Okay, so this stage the child learns to discriminate genitals. He sees this difference in his brothers and sisters and other children. The sexual instinct is satisfied by touching the sex organs. At this stage, the child is prone to develop many types of complexes. EPDS complex, Electra complex and castration complex, penis envy, etc. So latency stage, number 4, latency stage. This stage is from 7 to 12 years. At this stage, the child's sexual instincts are usually at sleep because of social fear. However, outwardly interest grow. He enjoys playing and talking with his friends. He does not like the love shown by his parents, but the masturbation learnt at the phallic stage persists. Number 5 is genital stage. This stage is from 12 to 20 years. The boys and girls see their genitals as their sex organs grow. Phallic stage is again aroused. The children at this stage start telling false stories, daydreaming, and may involve in homosexuality. It is observed that when boys and girls are alone, they feel depressed and defeated, and to satisfy themselves, they masturbate. Freudian stage theory of personality development is based on the satisfaction of sexual instincts at the stage of childhood, and the conclusions have been drawn from behavior of children in the family. However, most of the modern psychologists do not agree with Freudian's stage theory, though they agree that Freud has provided some very basic insight for understanding the development of personality. Their disagreement revolves around the terms used for describing various stages like oral for dependent, anal for compulsive, or genital for mature, and so on. Neo-Freudian theory. Modern psychologists do not agree on the overemphasis of sexual instinct as determinants of personality development as identified by Freud. Prominent among these psychologists are Jung, Adler, Horney, Fromm, and Erikson. They have emphasized the role of environmental variables in the development of personality. Out of these, Erikson's psychological stages of personality development provide more valuable insights for understanding the development of personality. Erikson's psychological stages. While formulating the stage theory of personality, Erikson has felt that relatively more attention should be given to the social rather than the sexual adaptations of the individuals. Based on these themes, he has identified 8 psychological stages of personality development. Each stage covers a particular span of a person's life, and in each stage, a particular type of crisis is experienced as shown in the table. So there is a table, Erikson psychological stages. So stage of development, age, and crisis. There are 3 columns: stage of development, age, and crisis. So oral sensory stage, I am going to discuss step by step. Oral sensory stage, age 0 to 1. So crisis, what is the crisis? Trust versus mistrust. Muscular and anal stage, age 1 to 2. Autonomy versus doubt. Locomotor genital stage, age 3 to 5. Initiative versus guilt. Latency stage, 6 to puberty. Industry versus inferiority. Puberty and adolescence, age 12 to 19. Identity versus confusion. Early adulthood, early 20s. Intimacy versus isolation. Young and middle adulthood, late 20s. Generativity versus agitation versus stagnation. Generativity versus stagnation. Mature adulthood, 30s. Integrity versus despair. So this is the table, Erikson's psychological stages of development, age, and crisis also. Okay, next, Erikson has asserted that a psychological crisis within each of the stages, and that in order to have a normal fulfilling personality, each crisis should be optimally resolved